Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the past 1 month or so, I have discussed with quite a few Wing Chun friends, Qigong friends, internal art friends worldwide. And I told most of these friends that they are brainwashed with some people's thinking, which is not reality at all. But when one is brainwashed, one was stuck inside those type of thinking. And if one do not get out from those type of thinking, it is actually a disaster. It do no good to us. Often, with this type of brainwash and mentality, one become really have no confidence or insecure. And thus, whatever somebody says something, right away they jump. Many of those friends at the beginning, when they contacted me, they thought I'm going to bully them or I'm going to pick at them. But after we get into the conversations, they find out is that I'm trying to help them to get out from whatever they get stuck inside there for decades. The number one thing which is I face and advise these friends is that do not belittle other people. If you belittle other people, then you have all this fear of people belittle you. If you talk bad about other people, then you will have that. You're afraid of people talk bad about you. So there's no way you can talk or discuss technical. And you're trapped. So one of the reasons people get into this is because the teacher. There are many clueless teachers in this world for past hundreds of years. And all these clueless teachers, when they be with their students, they only belittle other people. Call this thing is no good, that is no good, all sort of stuff. But they cannot really get into the technical and explain what is going on. And so the student will learn that. Okay? So that's why I told all these friends that the first thing what we want to do is don't belittle other people. If you belittle other people, what you give up, you take back. It's going to nail inside there because as soon as somebody says something, you say, oh, he's going to put me down and I'm afraid. Why do you afraid? Why do you insecure? Because you do not know the what, why, how of what is the reality technically or the details. If you know the what, why, how, you are so sure, like you are as sure as the sun tomorrow will rise from the east, who cares whatever heck other people say? And as an analogy, what we want when we practice Kung Fu, be it Wing Chun, internal art, meditation, whatever, we want to find out what is the truth. Like sun always raise up in the morning from the east. Once you get there, who cares, okay? But in the past 100 years or so, people many people who is teaching have no clue of sun rising in the east in the morning. They don't know. That's why they make up all kinds of stuff. They belittle other people and then make to boost themselves and so forth. So you have this mess up today. Okay. So number one thing is, until we can drop this nonsense, this toxic stuff of belittling and ask, what is going on? Why is it? What is it? How is it? We trap there. Okay. And you cannot make friends, because whenever you start to talk, you are thinking that somebody might belittle you, because we belittle other people so much that we have that thing that because we do whatever to others, that others will do to us. So many face me when I ask them, so how do you do this? And they get defensive. I said, I just want to know, how do you do this? How do you stand? Like often I ask people, how do you stand in your Iji Kamyong Ma? Can you make a video to show me? Well, many get defensive. And I ask them, I explain to them, how the world I know how do you stand in Iji Kamyong Ma if I have never seen you stand in Iji Kamyong Ma? I don't even know you. So why is people get this insecure and everything? From the teacher, from the environment. It has to be as simple as, oh, this is how I stand. Like when I go to the teacher in Asia, I always say, sir, this is how I do it. Can you please check for me? Is this properly done or what it is? And he'll tell you, oh, this. Okay. And you need to correct this, you feel this, and those kind of stuff. Instead of say, this is shitty, this is blah, blah, blah. Those who say this is shitty, this, but never tell you what is the details or to improve it, walk away from those. Those are time waster. They have no idea what the heck they are talking about. So right now, we, especially people like over 45, don't waste time on those kind of stuff, okay? If you belittle other people, you're afraid to get belittled. And then you get into those loop. Those are not something called ego. Ego is just somebody who have no idea what is Zen and bring up that term. No. So that is very important, okay? Set yourself free. As soon as you don't belittle other people, you talk why, what, how, the world is open, is free to ask questions, free to learn, free to share. We want to be like that, okay? That's Zen. Zen is like that. Now, for the details of the training, my channel is actually really difficult to understand, because I try to put as much in this channel as possible, like a storage. So it's like if you go to a university, if this is the postdoctoral class, you walk inside there, you might think you know what the professor said, but you actually don't know what he's talking about, because you are not at the level. And many things I'm talking here is that people is not yet there in that state, so that they don't understand what I'm talking about. For instance, about I never talk about fighting stance, but many people talk to me about fighting stance. I say, why do you want to have a fighting stance? The bottom line is momentum. What fighting stance? So because they are bombarded with all those fighting standing, they do not hear what I'm saying or what I'm explaining. So we need to be careful that we need to build up stuff step by step. And that's why I tell all these friends, you know, you can ask me questions step by step, but don't jump gun. I can do a 360-degree breathing, doesn't mean that you can do. You might not even know what is a natural resonance breathing. Now, I'm not putting you down. I just tell you that that is the steps. If you don't get the one step proper, then you jump, then you get in trouble. Or if you using those whatever you learned before and try to judge things, then you get in problem. Okay? So it is always a rule. Try to understand what other people said and confirm with them. You can ask questions saying that, is it what you mean? Is it what you mean? Is it what you mean? And I'm sure that people love to tell you. Instead of you heard one term and then you just thinking, oh, it's just that when I talk momentum handling and people keeping thinking fighting stand. Is that their fault? No, they're victims. They're brainwashed. Okay, so you need to get out from that. Now, something even more serious. The reason why I brought the 6 core element up and then lately the 3 type of body conditioning training is because we need to get scientific and clearly know what the heck we are doing, or else we will not be able to get result. And so it end up that we are wasting our time, our money, and then we get nothing after decades. And what we got is only that the insecure complex, because we see everybody try to belittle other people, and so whenever I talk, I have to gain the upper hand, or you know, make sure that he cannot belittle me. Forget about those. Okay, those are time wasting. So the 6 core element, the 3 body conditioning training, that is a really basic. If you ask me today, do I believe in all those ancient teaching? I say mostly I don't, unless they can prove it scientifically. Because I'm seeing enough, I have seen enough of nonsense. Like I belong to this family's grandmaster. And then this is our secret thing. Forget about it. I don't want that. What I want is like, if I tell you, son, raise tomorrow from the east, then be able to prove it, and then you be able to watch the sun rise tomorrow. It is, you need to get everybody to be able to do it, to benefit, or else you're selling nonsense, snake oils, okay? So there is a reason why I push big on this scientific stuff. It is a responsibility, right? I mean, you go pay somebody some money to learn something supposedly to be good for you. How can you prove that you even know what you are doing? How do you know you are right? Because of the Sifu say this? So yesterday, there somebody sent me a picture of this grandmaster teaching this and that. I just look at that. I just tell them that guy don't even know how to stand. He couldn't even do a squat. He couldn't even breathe. How is it supposed to be something which is supposed to be good or secret or ancient? It's nonsense. Okay? We cannot do that, because if we do that, we are screwing each other. We are going down. Now, this is important. Really, really, really crazily important. The three type of training of the body conditioning: the recovery, the nurture chi, the fitness training, and the martial art trainings. You violate that, you get into a problem. This is the universal truth. Martial art training, if we never train in this high heart rate threshold training and anaerobic training, forget about fighting, okay? Forget about fighting. But that is very damaging. For people who over 45, if your body is not that strong or healthy, don't touch it. Fitness training is a must for us, for everybody, especially when we grow old, over 45, we want to have a proper fitness training. Nurture training is even important. When we get sick, when we get injured, when we tired, we always need this nurture chi training. Okay. So forget about this. You talk about Wing Chun 1850, Wing Chun this, Wing Chun that, ancient this, all this. Those are just terms. What you want is this: nurture chi training, fitness training, martial art training. Just ask ourselves, do I have that training? So it's just asking, do we know that when sun is rising, and which direction is sun is rising? People need to be able to say that it's from the east, between 5 to say 7 o'clock, depend on where's the location, where's the seasons. And you can track the thing down. You need to get that. Okay? Now, so the ancient Chinese have this thing. But how the hell I'm going to be able to verify to you that I am not bullshitting you? And you can learn it within days or within hours, actually. How? Well, that's where our Western technology come in. We need to check the heart rate and the heart rate variability. If you can do this nurture chi recovery training, when you do the training, your heart rate will drop into the resting heart rate. Your heart rate variability will going up. If you have that training, you will be able to do that. There's no magic. There's no ancient Chinese secret. Anybody who want to teach other people, better to have that capability. And in today, we can check about heart rate variability. You know what? If you want to use the heart rate and heart rate variability to check this nurture chi training, get an Apple Watch. Get an Apple Watch. Apple Watch. Apple SE or the Apple Ultra, whatever. You can get the cheapest Apple SE, the first generation, and there's now the second generations. You can track your heart rate. You can check your heart rate variability manually as soon as you're using the breathing, mindfulness breathing. You can check your heart rate variability. So before you practice, you can check your heart rate variability. After you practice, you can check your heart rate variability. So you can spend, say, $170 to 200 something dollars, you can get a very good Apple Watch SE, SE1 or SE2 to do the job, okay? Now, if we are 50, 40 something, 50 something, it is worth it to get one of those because that is helping our training. We know where we are and it's helping our health. Apple Watch is good for health. Another thing is you can get the Garmin. You see this, the Garmin is have a better software. It can show your heart rate going down and also your breathing rate, and then also the stress. Now, since Garmin also can show heart rate variability, but Garmin have the stress. Stress is reverse, the opposite of the heart rate variability. So when you do the nurture chi training, your stress level will go down. Okay, so that is depend on that day and so forth by going down now. So with this, we know what it is because we have the process. Like over here, I keeping mention the N1 process. No, you can check in this YouTube, or if you really want a comprehensive view, get my book, the Wing Chun Inception. Then you get everything writing down there how to do it, okay? Including the heart rate variability, the stress, all those kind of stuff, including the heart rate stuff. Okay, it's comprehensive one. So it is not like you keeping pay me money for 1,000 years, you don't get nothing. It's not. It's like a textbook. This is what it is. Period. So the ancient for this nurture chi state is like enter from the intelligent world to the natural world. This is ancient. But today how the hell are we going to know that we can get in there? It's simple, using the watch to check the heart rate and heart rate variability, or the stress if you're using Garmin. So you need that, okay? You don't need 1,000 years to learn, or 10 years, or 3 years to learn, or 1 year to learn. You can learn this within, say, 8 hours. 8 hours meaning you can learn here, 30 minutes you spend here, you spend there testing it out, and after 8 hours, you will get a handle what the heck, provided you got the monitor, okay? Otherwise, if you don't have this type of tools, I mean, who the world is going to be able to verify for you whether you can get it or you cannot get it, or correct you? So now you settle for that, okay? No grandmaster is so have this spiritual power that they can read their student, or they can do it. If that is the reality, you can see a lot of grandmaster be able to do it. Why is today all this grandmaster, all the student, none can do that? So that's why we know what exactly the ancient Chinese is teaching. We used our American technology to verify it, to track the hell out of it, okay? So before, probably you have to go up to the mountain to meet this grandmaster so that he be able to teach you. Right now, you don't. You know the method, you use scientific to verify it. Everybody can be mass production, get it. Okay, nurture chi. The second is the fitness training. See, this part of the training is for you to rest, to charge your body. when you do this, actually your blood is going, your blood distributions is in your internal organ and that part. Thus, you need to have the blood circulate your entire body to build all your muscle and so forth. So this is the aerobic based type of training. And actually, 10 years ago, I already put out the entire thing. For example, this is the arm swing. Okay, you see that this is a YK3, drill 3, drill 2. I have a 4 drill there, YKT 1, 2, 3, 4. Free in this channel. This is 10 years ago. You read that this is 10 years ago. It's free there. So that is for the Chinese way of training for the fitness. Now, been testing a long time for the fitness. Let's belong to this part. The same thing. We're going to use either the Apple Watch or Garmin watch to track it. So that we know that it is between 65% to 80% of your heart rate. You want to exercise that fast. It's just like you have a brisk walking, or you have some running. You know, not sprinting. You know, you want to get your heart rate up to 75% or close to 80%. That is for your fitness training. So for the arm swing, for the YKT 1, 2, 3 there, as what I shared with you in that video, that series of video, it is all belong to this. You need it. This is the basic. So that our body all is activate. Again, this is ancient Chinese stuff. And now we can use our heart rate to manage it, so that we know that we can do things properly and we can verify we got it now. Martial art training, this is a strengthening training. Your heart rate will go up from 85 to from 80 to 100%. You must not touch this training if you do not have a solid this training. Okay? You must never touch it. Why? If you don't have this aerobic based training, you will get into something called aerobic deficiency syndrome. Meaning, whenever you do something, right away your heart rate jump to more than 80%. You know that when you get to that, it's like you don't have this base. You don't have this base. So, for example, this is get into anaerobic, okay? Get into this high zone, anaerobic, okay? 80%, 79, 80% anaerobic, 20% aerobic. So what happened is, if you do not have a good fitness training, aerobic base, you will not be able to have a heart rate gradually raised up. You see the gradually raised up and going up, down. And then if I want to boost it, I boost it up. You want to going down, I going down. So you need to have the fitness training to be able to do this. Instead of, if you don't have the aerobic based training, nor the fitness training, you go to strengthening training, guess what? Right away, this thing fly highs like that. Flies high, okay? And then you just keeping go flies. Once you see that in the heart rate, you back off, because you don't have the fitness training. So that too, you need to use your Apple Watch and you need a Garmin watch to track it. Okay? Especially when we are more than 45-year-old, body get aging, tear and wear. We need to be very careful on this thing because we practice something not to be Bruce Lee or not to be Mike Tyson. We need to be able to use what we practice to benefit us daily. When you're 40 something, in one way, you might have to take care of your family, your kids who is younger than you, or even your parents, which is older than you. Your body is really important. Your health is very important. If you learn Wing Chun or Qigong or whatever internal art training, you need to make sure you really have the training instead of just talk and thinking that, oh, I up for my interpretation, up for your interpretations. It never is like that. Now I want to tell you one thing on this Apple Watch or Garmin watch. Why I don't use the chest strap? Because those things is extremely uncomfortable and it can feel suffocate when you put the heart rate bell there. Okay, so Apple today is very good enough that you put here. It is pretty good that it be able to track you. Garmin also it can track you. Now, if you lost data here, guess what? You can, instead of buying the arm monitor, you just get a longer wristband. So you tie it here. You tie it here. So it is like the arm monitor. Just one watch. Okay. So if you want to go faster, you put here, it is shifting around, or you want to weightlifting, it is really, it can cause inaccuracy. You just tie it here. I mean, so like with the Apple Watch or Garmin watch today, you'll be able to do that. You don't need to have all this gadget. That's why I experiment with all this thing and I can tell you, what is the best bet, right? So you can use for fitness here, nurture chi here, but when you go strengthening, you might want to put it here, depend. Why is something this easy, this simple? It never been addressed. And as what I've chat with so many friends, 40, 50 years old, spending decades in Wing Chun, in internal or the meditation or whatever, what did they actually get? Sadly, most don't got the Kung Fu. Most can't even do the nurture chi training. It's only big name. Oh, I train with this grandmaster. This lineage is from this. This style is from this. But can I use it in daily life? No. Of course not. Because they don't even know what exactly it is. So that's why today I share with you. And seriously, I share with you the video, okay? Check it out. And if you want me doing homework for you, you want me to do your homework for you in a detailed way, get the Wing Chun Inception. You don't have to go to China to the cave. Even you go to China to go to the cave, they might not know. Okay? Get the Wing Chun Inception. Get the meditation matrix. If you want to know Qigong, meditations in details, use that as the textbooks. Okay? Those are the summary of the basic. So why is this needed? Because you want to get the minimum benefit from it. You spend the money, you spend the time to training it. Of course, you want to use it to benefit your body. So especially those like us, you know, who is after 45-year-old, in one way, you might have kids to take care of. Another way, you might have older parents to take care of. And you have to take care of your body, because if you screw your body, then it becomes a really disaster, hazard at home, right? We just normal human beings. So this is what I like to share with you. Let's get into the reality. Let's get the Western technology involved. Get the Chinese, the real teaching, verify with the Western scientific and technology, and get everybody to be able to use it. Okay? No more all this nonsense or ancient Chinese secret. Secret for what? Can you verify with the Western science? And also, you don't talk bad about, oh, the Chinese don't know anything. If you just have the Apple Watch and you do not know the process, like the N1 process, which is over here, and the meditation process are over here, this is just a gadget. You need both. You need both the East and the West. That's why I said, don't belittle anybody. Everybody have its strength and weakness. But if you make friend everything together, then you'll be able to speed up your learning. Whatever you don't know, you can spend a lifetime. You can get it within 3 months. There are many people who take class with me on the 613-3, going through all this hard work for 2 months, 3 months. And after they go through that, many tell them, how come I don't learn this when I started 20 years ago, 30 years ago? And if you really have the 6 core element implant on your body, whenever you do something wrong with your body, you know, I cannot do this, because you know your body is screaming up that this is not proper for the body. So that is the value of the 6 core element. 6 core element is not, well, Hendrik have this 6 core element. I have 7 core element. Many people try to do those bullshit. Okay. Well, Hendrik said 13 state, 6, 13, 3, 13 state. And I said, well, there's 14 state. Bullshit. Can you develop putting that sensing in your body? Verify with this thing. Then you tell me you have the 6 core element. But until now, I don't see those people who make all those 7 core element, or his way of 6 core element, whatever, have that capability. And anybody who have that can just look at that guy, how he stands or how he put his hand, you know whether he get it or not. And if you want seriously, just put on the watch and see, okay, let's go. If you have this, you have all this training, let's go zoom up like I show you from the heart rate. Can you handle the heart rate? So many friends told me, well, Hendrik, this is an Olympic grade, Olympic level, Olympic type of standard. Sure. I mean, are you kidding? If you talk about martial arts, are you kidding? If you are not in the Olympic level, if you are not in Olympic training level, are you kidding? What are you doing? You say General Qi Ji Guang 460 years ago. If he is not in that war special force level, what is this doing? So here we base on General Qi Ji Guang. We base on the real Buddhist teaching, the Buddha's teaching. We base on, like in today's, the Olympic level of training. We want result. We want effective training. We want efficient training. Not burning anybody's time and money. We want everybody to be benefit, and we want to take away all this belittle. You go compete in Olympic, you don't belittle other people. You do the best what you can do, because your focus is on how to improve yourself, not to belittle other people. You can see in Chinese martial arts, many of even with the same sifu, this classmate badmouth that classmate, that classmate badmouth that classmate. After 30, 40 years, everybody is junk. Why? Besides, they badmouth people, belittle people, what the heck they know anyway? So that's why when you meet the MMA trainer who really put their time on the training, like the Olympic level, everything fall apart. Why? Because you are just practicing belittle other people. While other people in the West is practice in the Olympic level. They focus on what they need to train and they research on it. So today I choose to share this with you because every year Thanksgiving pass by, and there will be a year that I will not have the video in the Thanksgiving anymore because I left this world. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 years later, 20 years later, probably, who knows? 5 years later, tomorrow, who knows? Okay, so people matter, especially those of us who is more than 45 years old. And mark my words, those who can change Wing Chun to be better, or meditations or internal whatever in the better, will be people belongs to the age more than 45-year-old group and above in the West. Why? Because they are educated, they are more mature, they think straight. So right now, if you want to say you want to save Wing Chun or save meditations or save Buddhism or whatever, the group of the people who is very important is whoever more than 45 years old. The young generations, like we are young too before, we too emotions, we cannot do it. But after 45 years old, that is the time that that the human is mature and be able to think clearly, be able to change. So as what I told my friend in Asia, I said, if you really want to save Wing Chun, you want to really save your martial arts or your meditations, you need first to get all those people in above 45 years old, every one of them get a quality training. And then things will change. If you don't get the 45-year-old change, the entire thing is over. See, 50 years later, see whether what I'm saying is right or not. Hopefully, here on, all of you guys who is more than 45 years old, watch my video, this video a few times, and you get what I'm talking about. And start working on yourself, because I often tell people, this is the last thing I want to tell you. Forget about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee died young. Okay? Forget about him. Forget about the best fighter. Even Bruce Lee died young, what is the point? Forget about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is a pro. How many Mike Tyson in the entire world? But it is you who have to live every day with this body, facing your work, facing your family, facing your parents, facing your kids, facing your boss, facing your customer. That is what is important. Do you have whatever you train support you so that you can face the world better? That is the most important. The rest, come on, Bruce Lee, forget about it. I don't want to be Bruce Lee. Why do I want to die young? You want to fight? How many people fight today with the bare arm? Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson only doing the ring. In the real life? Are you sure? But every day we have to wake up to go to work, to come back, deal with the family issue, put bread in the table. Hopefully that we are not sick so that we can take care of our parents, or we can take care helping our kids. Say to move from one university's dorm to other place, driving him around and all those kind of stuff. So the Zen say the truth is ordinary. This is what is the truth about. It is about ordinary. How much it can help us in our ordinary day. That is the most important.